Welcome back. For those of you that just recently saw my video on how I finished up my solar, I want to talk a little bit about, for anybody thinking about doing this, what kinds of things you might need. So as a reminder, there's my setup, and I bought a Craftsman shelf that's probably wasn't really wide enough. I should have got one that was a little wider, but there's lots of good. You want something. These are heavy. A Delta Pro weighs about 100 pounds, so you want to make sure you get some kind of a really sturdy shelf, and it's nice to have them up off of the ground. Um, yeah, and then the smart home panel I got from Ecoflow, and I had the electrician install that, and they got the permits and everything. I don't I don't mess with that kind of stuff. So what I needed then to do my solar stuff is just assortment of some basic tools and lots of trips to the lots of trips to the home center or the hardware store. Um, you're always going to need. Oh, I need a few more nuts and bolts, and oh, I need some better deck screws, and oh, I need another piece. Anyway. But so basically, what you need to build the mounts and everything, and to wire up the solar panels. Um, you need a vehicle that's big enough that you can haul, your 2x4s or your 4x4s back to your house, or you can have them delivered. Either way, so you need a way to get the wood that you need, and then a nice way to cut it. There's a circular saw. It's good, but hand saw would work. Some kind of a saw, some kind of a drill to pre-drill holes. I have this big old honking corded drill, but you could use a cordless, whatever. A screwdriver. A cordless screwdriver really saves on the wrist muscles when you're driving in some screws. Cables. Okay, for a solar panel, most of what solar panels that you get have what's called MC4 connectors, and there's the male and the female, and you can't. They're separated. They snap together, and you can't mess it up because they only snap one way. You can buy them off of online real easily. Just search on MC4 cables. They come in different types, all different lengths and sizes. This particular one is only got the MC4 connectors installed to one side, but they're not that hard to install, but you can also get them with it already connected on both ends. And you can get them at all different lengths. You can get typically 8, 10, and 12 gauge. If you're going to make a run that's like 50 feet or something like I have to my backyard, you don't want to use 12 gauge. 12 is the smaller, and the thinner the diameter of the wire, the more voltage you lose on a longer run. So 12 is okay for a 3-foot run or something, or 6-foot. But if you're going to do a long run, you're going to want 10 or 8 to reduce the amount of voltage loss. Tape measure, of course, is handy to have. Some kind of wrenches, socket wrenches, or hand wrench, some kind of wrench to drive bolts and nuts and things. If you're going to go through a wall into your garage like I did, they make these glands. This is a gland. They make these for RVs, typically for people that want to put solar on their RV and they run it, into the RV. And they have pre-applied tape or bolt screws and stuff that you can attach to it. So look up solar cable gland for an RV online if you want to buy something like that. And then I bought this little kit here off of Amazon. It's got the kinds of connectors. These are for prying apart or tightening the MC4 connectors. This one is for doing. I have some Renogy panels, and Renogy has a slightly different connector, so it has a slightly different width. So I need this one for the Renogy. It comes with some extra MC4 connectors. It comes with some of the extra pins that go in the MC4 connectors. It comes with a wire cutter and a crimper. And if you want to go out online, you can go online and look at videos. Actually, there's all kinds of videos, but you can go online and look at videos on how to wire solar cables, how to attach, remove, or change links or whatever on MC4 connector cables. You can also go and look online for all kinds of other things. How to wire solar panels, how to size them, all kinds of stuff on, I use Ecoflow Delta Pro, but, there's lots of other manufacturers that make solar generators, depending on what you're after. So you could, do your research online. Then to the Delta Pro, the solar has its own connector, which they usually sell. Sometimes they sell it with the Delta Pro. Sometimes they sell it with their own Ecoflow solar panels. But you might have to go online and find a. And this is an XT60i connector that plugs directly into the back of the Delta Pro in the solar input, and it's got an MC4 on the other side, so you can run that out to your solar panel and an extension. And then I talked a little bit on previous videos about whether I went solar or series. If you go parallel, I should say, if you go parallel solar, you need these junctions, which again you can buy them online, but that's a junction that you use to create a parallel connection. If you're going to go series, you just wire the panels one to the other. There's some really good videos. Search on series versus parallel beginner's guide, and you'll find some really good videos on how to wire solar panels. Also, if you have Ecoflow products, the Facebook groups, there's the Ecoflow Facebook group and Ecoflow Delta Facebook group, and there's lots of really good knowledgeable people out there that, other people that are using these products that can help answer your questions and solve some of your problems without having to wait for the customer support. So those are the basic tools that you need. And then of course you're going to need an assortment of nuts and bolts and screws, and the wood and metal beams, and that's about it really for getting started. You might need some. I got you some spray foam or something like that for where I put a hole in the garage wall. There was something else I was going to say, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but I guess that's about it. So the Ecoflow products in general, they make a lot of sense when you've got a small at the Delta Pro size. To me, it's kind of at the limit. They've got the Delta Pro Ultra now, which has a different form factor, and you can stack them. So as far as these portable units go, they have wheels, and they have so in an emergency, or if we ever moved, I could take these with me. But if you're gonna go camping or something and move it around your house, you're gonna want something smaller. This is a Delta Max. Then they make even smaller ones. The Delta River series, or the River series, is even smaller than the Delta series. So they make them all different sizes depending on what you want. And the other advantage of something like an Ecoflow versus, say, like a Tesla Powerwall or something like that, the Ecoflow stuff is all in the solar generator stuff is all downstream. So I got permits for this. Or the electrician got permits for me, but you don't have to. I can't ever send power back up to the grid. These things only power my house instead of the grid. So I use any electricity I generate with solar, I use it myself instead of pulling it from the grid, or I use it as a backup. If the power's out. If you're going to do something where you're going to create a lot of solar and you're going to want to sell it back to the power company, then of course you have to deal up front with the power company and go through their process and get their permission and whatever else you need to do for that. But I don't ever send any power, so I don't have to worry about. Lately in some places the power companies used to give you quite a bit of good money for buying your electricity, and now they don't. I don't have to worry about that because I never sell electricity to the power company. I just use it myself and just buy less from them. So that's the advantage of that. With a Powerwall, it's more of a home backup system where, if you do generate electricity, you can sell it back to the grid and everything. But it's not this is more of I don't know how to describe it. This is more of a portable downstream solution, which is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have to mess with the power company and all that stuff. And I didn't need, actually, one Powerwall is I think a Powerwall is about 14 kilowatt hours, which is what I've basically got here. So I've actually got the same size as one Powerwall right now. And I could expand it a little farther if I wanted, but I probably won't. So, okay. Anyway, so that's it. Well, basically, that's lengthy description, but I wanted to go over what I think you might need to have on hand if you're going to start doing this stuff. And some of these tools, most people probably already have, a screwdriver, and they maybe already have a drill, and they might even have a saw. There's some these special. These kits are pretty inexpensive. You can find these online. And then the cables and stuff. Of course, it all starts to add up when you start buying a dozen things, but it's pretty much basic stuff. So just, watch a lot of videos, read some manuals, and do your research before you start buying stuff, and maybe start small. That's the other advantage of something like this, is you can start small and add to it over time. You don't have to build the whole thing at once. So you don't have to, go take out a loan to put in $100,000 system or something like that, because this is, a few $1,000s instead. So, okay, that's it for now. Talk to you next time.